After the arrival of the Spaniards on the island of Haiti in 1492, the population of the Tainos was quickly reduced due to the hard work imposed on them and the diseases brought by the Europeans. Wanting at all costs to exploit the resources and potential of the island, the Spaniards and then the French brought blacks from Africa as a workforce. In the western part of the island, these enslaved blacks will begin to rebel in an organized way in 1791 until they defeat the Napoleonic Army and declare their independence in 1804 to found the first black republic in the world. But who are those Africans whose descendants make up the vast majority of Haiti's current population? The majority of black Haitians living in Haiti today are believed to be of West African origin, specifically from ethnic groups that were forcibly brought to the Americas during the transatlantic slave trade. Genetic studies, cultural heritage, and linguistic analysis have suggested that Haitians significantly originated from the people of Fon, Akan, Yoruba, Igbo, Kongo, and Mandinka, among others. In this episode, we will take a detour to Africa to better understand where the Africans who will take over the island of Haiti come from. Africa is the birthplace of humanity. Around 300,000 years ago, anatomically modern humans evolved in Africa from earlier hominids and developed physical and cognitive adaptations, allowing them to thrive in diverse environments. As modern humans spread across Africa, complex societies and cultures emerged, shaping early civilizations like Egypt, Nubia, and Ethiopia. Egypt had a highly sophisticated civilization dating back to the Paleolithic era, known for monumental architecture, hieroglyphic writing, and advanced systems of government and agriculture. The Kingdom of Nubia, located along the Nile River, was known for advanced systems of agriculture, trade, and government, while Ethiopia's Kingdom of Aksum became a major economic and political power in the region, known for impressive architecture and advanced systems of trade and agriculture. The Nile River played a crucial role in the development of many of these early civilizations. In addition to the early civilizations that emerged in Egypt, Nubia, and Ethiopia, Africa was home to a variety of other powerful civilizations and empires throughout its ancient history. Some of these civilizations and empires include Kingdom of Kush, Carthaginian Empire, Kingdom of Ghana, Kingdom of Mali. Now let's look in more details at the civilizations of the ethnic groups from which Haitians of African descent originate. The precise ethnic roots of Haitians are challenging to pinpoint due to the upheaval of conventional social systems throughout the slave trade. However, genetic research, cultural heritage, and linguistic analysis indicate that a considerable part of the Haitian population descends from various ethnic groups, including Fon, Yoruba, Akan, Kongo, Igbo, and Mandinka, among others. The Fon people. The exact timeline of when the Fon people became a distinct group is not well defined, but it is believed to have been during the early medieval era, around the 6th to 9th century CE. At that time, various ethnic groups in West Africa, including the Fon, were in the process of forming distinct identities and cultures that would later become more defined. This process was likely influenced by a combination of factors, including migrations, intermarriage, and interactions with neighboring societies. They are originated in Taino, a small Aja town near the Togo-Benin border, and were originally part of the ruling class in the Aja kingdom of Alata. After a dispute over succession, a group of the Aja people broke away and migrated to Alata with King Agasu. Another dispute over succession occurred, and Agasu's son Dagbari led the Fon people northwards to Abumi, where they founded the Kingdom of Dahomey around 1620 CE. The Dahomey Kingdom began as a small state led by King Dikatanu, who founded the capital city of Abumi. Over time, the Dahomey Kingdom expanded its territories and influence, becoming a powerful regional power by the late 17th century. The kingdom's expansion was facilitated by a strong and well-organized military and a centralized political system. The Dahomey Kingdom lasted until the late 19th century when it was defeated by French colonial forces. The kingdom was incorporated into the French colony of Dahomey, which later gained independence in 1960 and became the modern Republic of Benin. Fon culture is marked by a strong emphasis on oral tradition, with stories, proverbs, and histories passed down through generations by griots. Music, dance, and artisanal skills are important aspects of their culture. Traditional Fon religion centers around the worship of a pantheon of gods and spirits known as Vodun, with priests and priestesses playing a crucial role in mediating between the human and spirit worlds. Fon society is traditionally organized around a hierarchical structure with a king or chief at the top, and the Dahomey Kingdom was governed by a centralized administration. The Fon people are organized into clans, which play an important role in social life. Gender roles in Fon society have historically been relatively flexible, with both men and women participating in various aspects of economic, social, and religious life. Women, in particular, have held significant positions of power and influence within the Dahomey Kingdom, as demonstrated by the famous Dahomey Amazons, an elite all-female military unit that served the kingdom in the 18th and 19th centuries. The Dahomey Amazons largely inspired the strong warrior women of the American blockbuster, Black Panther. The Yoruba people. The Yoruba people are one of the largest ethnic groups in West Africa, primarily residing in southwestern Nigeria, as well as neighboring Benin and Togo. The exact origins of the Yoruba people are still debated among historians and anthropologists. According to Yoruba mythology, the Yoruba people descended from Odujuwa, the first divine king, who descended from the sky and created the earth at the sacred city of Ife. While the mythological account provides a spiritual origin for the Yoruba people, historical and linguistic evidence suggests that their ancestors were part of the broader Niger-Congo language family and migrated to their present location from the east or northeast around the 8th century CE. Over time, the Yoruba people established numerous city-states across the region, such as Ife, Oyo, Ijebu, and Ekiti. These city-states, known as Ilu in Yoruba, were governed by powerful kings or obis, who wielded both political and religious authority. By the 12th century, Ife had emerged as the spiritual and political center of the Yoruba people. The city was known for its skilled artisans, especially in the areas of bronze, terracotta, and stone sculpture. The Oyo Empire, another prominent Yoruba state, rose to prominence in the 14th century and reached its zenith between the 16th and 18th centuries. The Oyo Empire was a highly centralized and militaristic state, with a powerful cavalry that allowed it to dominate much of the Yoruba region and beyond. The empire's wealth and power were derived from its control of trade routes and its participation in the trans-Saharan and Atlantic slave trades. The decline of the Oyo Empire in the late 18th and early 19th centuries led to a period of political fragmentation among the Yoruba states. This instability made the region vulnerable to the expansion of the Sokoto Caliphate and the arrival of European colonial powers. By the late 19th century, the Yoruba states had been incorporated into the British colony of Nigeria. Yoruba culture is known for its artistic achievements, particularly in sculpture, pottery, textiles, and beadwork, with music and dance playing a significant role in cultural life. Yoruba religion is a complex belief system centered around a pantheon of deities known as Orishas, with the supreme god Olajamir or Olorin as the creator of the universe. Yoruba social structure is organized around a hierarchical system that includes obis and other traditional rulers, lineage systems, and various professional and social groups. Yoruba society is divided into numerous city-states, each with its own unique history, political structure, and ruling dynasty. The Yoruba people also have an extensive lineage system, with families belonging to specific lineages or clans based on patrilineal descent. The Akan people. The Akan people originated from the Sahara Desert and Sahel regions of Africa and migrated to the forested region around the 11th century. Their migration was marked by a series of settlements and adaptations as they moved from Nubia to Akar or Kumbi Saleh, a significant trading center. They eventually settled in present-day Ivory Coast before moving to Dorma in today's Bono region of Ghana and established small farming communities. Over time, these Akan communities grew in size and complexity, eventually forming a number of independent states and chiefdoms. These early Akan states were organized around matrilineal kinship structures, with political power and inheritance passing through the female line. This matrilineal system remains a distinctive aspect of Akan culture today. The most significant development in the history of the Akan people was the emergence of the powerful Ashanti Empire in the late 17th century. The Ashanti Empire, led by the Asantehene king, expanded its territory through a series of military campaigns, ultimately dominating much of present-day Ghana. The empire's strength lay in its centralized administration, powerful military, and control of the region's abundant gold resources. The Ashanti Empire's power and wealth attracted the attention of European traders and colonial powers, leading to increased contact and trade with the outside world. In the 19th century, the Ashanti Empire found itself in conflict with the British Empire, resulting in a series of Anglo-Ashanti wars. The Ashanti were ultimately defeated and incorporated into the British Gold Coast Colony in 1902. Akan culture is known for its artistry in textiles, goldwork, and pottery, with Kent cloth being the most famous example of Akan textile art. Music and dance, such as Adawa and Keet, play a significant role in Akan culture. Akan religion involves the worship of a supreme god, lesser gods, and spirits responsible for various aspects of life, with ancestral spirits playing a crucial role. Traditional Akan religious practices involve ceremonies, offerings, and rituals to appease gods, spirits, and ancestors. Akan society has a matrilineal kinship system with social status and inheritance traced through the female line and is hierarchically organized with various levels of political authority. Akan subgroups, such as Asante, Fanti, and Akwapam, share many common cultural traits, including the matrilineal system, religious beliefs, and artistic traditions. The Kongo people. The origins of the Kongo people can be traced back to the broader Bantu-speaking population, which began to migrate from the region around modern Nigeria and Cameroon to different parts of Africa around 1000 BCE. The Bantu migrations introduced agriculture, ironworking, and new social structures to the areas they settled. The Kongo people, like other Bantu-speaking groups, are believed to have migrated from the north and settled in the region of Central Africa around the Congo River Basin. The history of the Kongo people is closely intertwined with the rise of the Kingdom of Congo, which was established around the 14th century. The kingdom was a highly centralized state that spanned present-day northern Angola, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and the Republic of the Congo. It was ruled by the Mana-Congo, a king who held both political and spiritual authority over the Kongo people. The Kingdom of Congo experienced significant growth and prosperity during the 15th and 16th centuries, mainly due to its strategic location along the Atlantic coast and control of trade routes. The kingdom's economy was based on agriculture, crafts, and long-distance trade, which included items such as textiles, ivory, and copper. In the late 15th century, the Kingdom of Congo established contact with the Portuguese, who were interested in trade and missionary activity. This contact led to a period of cultural exchange and adaptation, as well as the introduction of Christianity to the Kongo people. The Mana-Congo and many Congo nobles converted to Christianity, and the kingdom's capital, Banza-Congo, became an important center for Christian learning and art. Despite the initial peaceful relations with the Portuguese, the Kingdom of Congo eventually became entangled in the growing European demand for slaves. This involvement in the slave trade led to internal conflicts, social disruption, and the eventual decline of the kingdom. By the late 17th century, the Kingdom of Congo was fragmented, and its power had diminished. It was ultimately annexed by the Portuguese in 1885 during the scramble for Africa. Congo culture is known for its artistic achievements, particularly in wood carving, pottery, and textiles. Traditional Congo religion centers around ancestor worship and spiritual beings known as Minkisi, while the supreme god is Nzambi Mpungu. Congo society is organized hierarchically, with traditional rulers at the top and numerous clans and lineages based on patrilineal descent. Inheritance and social status pass through the male line. Congo music and dance, with a variety of instruments such as drums and marimbas, are often performed at ceremonies and festivals. Congo artisans have a long history of creating intricate sculptures, often imbued with symbolism and spiritual power. Congo textiles, such as raffia cloth, often feature intricate patterns and designs. The arrival of Christianity in the 15th century led to a syncretic religious landscape, with Congo people practicing a blend of Christian and traditional religious customs. The Igbo people. The earliest known evidence of Igbo culture and society dates back to the 9th century CE, with the discovery of NRI artifacts and burial sites. The NRI Kingdom was one of the earliest political and religious centers in Igbo history, and its influence extended over a large portion of the Igbo people. The Igbo people are believed to have migrated to their current location in southeastern Nigeria from the north around the 9th or 10th century CE. They settled in the forested areas of what is now Nigeria and developed a rich cultural tradition based on agriculture, trade, and religion. During the 15th century, the Igbo people began to trade with European explorers and traders, including the Portuguese and British. This contact with Europeans led to the introduction of Christianity and the development of new political and economic systems in Igbo society. In the 19th century, the Igbo people were involved in the transatlantic slave trade, both as captives and as traders. This period of history was marked by significant social and political upheaval, including the development of slave markets and the displacement of many Igbo people from their traditional homes. In the late 19th century, the British colonized Nigeria, which had a significant impact on Igbo society. Igbo culture is known for its vibrant art, music, and dance traditions, including intricate wood carvings, sculptures, and masks, lively rhythms, and complex melodies. The Igbo language is one of the major languages in Nigeria, known for its complexity and richness, and has influenced other languages in West Africa. Traditional Igbo religion centers around the worship of a supreme god, Chukwu or Chinik, and lesser deities and ancestral spirits. Igbo society is based on a system of extended family networks, known as the Umana, which determines social status, marriage practices, and inheritance rights. Family is a central element of Igbo culture and society, with extended families playing a significant role in social organization and economic life. Many Igbo people have converted to Christianity or Islam while still maintaining traditional religious beliefs and practices. The society also includes a variety of professional and social groups, such as farmers, traders, and artisans, which contribute to the diversity and complexity of Igbo's social life. The Mandinka people. The Mandinka people are an ethnic group that originated in West Africa, specifically in the region that is now modern-day Mali, Senegal, and Guinea-Bissau. The Mandinka people's history traces back to the Mandan region in southern Mali, where the country was famous for the abundance of animals and game it sheltered, as well as its dense vegetation. The Mandan region was initially a part of many fragmented kingdoms that formed after the collapse of the Ghana Empire in the 11th century. However, during the rule of Sundiata Keita, founder of the Mali Empire, these kingdoms were consolidated, and the Mandinka expanded west from the Niger River basin. This migration began in the later part of the 13th century, and many gold artisans and metalworking Mandinka smiths settled along the coast and in the hilly Footajalan and plateau areas of West Africa. Their presence and products attracted Mandinka merchants and brought trading caravans from North Africa and the Eastern Sahel. The caravan trade also brought Islamic people into the Mandinka people's original and expanded home region. In the year 1311, Musa Abubakari II of the Keita dynasty organized and led an expedition across the Atlantic Ocean, and it is believed that he reached the Americas almost 200 years before Christopher Columbus. However, this success is not unanimous among historians. Before his departure, Abubakari II had left the throne to his younger brother, Mansa Musa. In 1324, Mansa Musa, often cited as the richest man of all time, went on a Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca with a caravan carrying gold. Shihab al-Amari, the Arabic historian, described his visit and stated that Musa built mosques in his kingdom, established Islamic prayers, and took back Maliki school of Sunni jurists with him. Musa was highly influential in attracting North African and Middle Eastern Muslims to West Africa. During the 16th century, the Mali Empire began to decline, and the Mandinka people began to migrate to other regions of West Africa, including Senegal, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, and Guinea-Conakry. These migrations were driven in part by economic factors, such as the desire for new trade opportunities, and in part by political factors, such as the collapse of the Mali Empire and the rise of new states and kingdoms in the region. In the 18th and 19th centuries, the Mandinka people were heavily involved in the transatlantic slave trade, both as captives and as traders. Many Mandinka people were taken to the Americas, particularly to the United States, where they became known as the Gullah people. Mandinka culture is characterized by its artistic traditions, including music, dance, and visual arts. Mandinka music features traditional instruments such as the kora and the balafon, while Mandinka dance is known for elaborate costumes and masks. Mandinka visual arts include sculpture, textiles, and pottery, often depicting themes from Mandinka folklore and history. The Mandinka language is tonal and has influenced other languages in West Africa. Mandinka people are predominantly Muslim, but many also practice traditional African religions. The Jelikunda clan system serves as the foundation of Mandinka social organization, determining social status, marriage practices, and inheritance rights. Mandinka families are large and extended, with family members expected to provide support and contribute to the economic and social well-being of the family as a whole. Europeans began to have contact with Africa in the 15th century, mainly through the Portuguese, who were looking for a sea route to India and Asia. During the exploration of the West African coast, the Portuguese established trade relations with African societies and kingdoms, exchanging European goods such as clothing and weapons for African goods such as gold, ivory, and slaves. In the 16th century, European powers such as Spain, France, Britain, and the Netherlands established trading posts and forts along the West African coast, gradually extending their control over the societies and African kingdoms through military conquest and political alliances. They were primarily interested in acquiring slaves, as well as other resources such as gold, ivory, rubber, and minerals. The first recorded arrival of African slaves to the New World was in 1502, although these slaves were not brought directly from Africa. It was Juan de Córdoba who sent several of his black slaves from Spain to Hispaniola. It was therefore Nicolas de Ovando who initiated the transatlantic slave trade to the Americas. This marked the beginning of a tragic era in which millions of Africans were forcibly emigrated to the Americas, Hispaniola being the first colony where this practice began.